And my Muchie was a real bitch.
My Muchie was a real...
That was a look at Gwyneth Paltrow opening up about her grandma on Chelsea Lately. All the lip readers know what she said.
Yes. Well, that's the unfortunate thing about bleeping, that you have to kind of read lips, But
so, what brought that out all of a sudden? What made her do that? That doesn't seem like Gwyneth.
I have no idea. We were just having a regular conversation, and I talked about my grandmother. We both called our grandmothers Mutti because that's German for mom. So she had, and when I was reading her cookbook, I saw it, and I thought, oh, and so I just mentioned it, and she said that, which was hilarious and perfect because, you know, Gwyneth Paltrow is, you know, everyone thinks is so prim and proper, and she's a great girl, and she's down to earth, and she's salty too. So it was kind of funny to hear her say it.
Was your grandma
My grandmother was a total bitch. She was a nightmare, and she hated me.
And Gwyneth said her grandmother hated her, too.
Yeah, it's obviously German women. There's a problem with them. I'm coming after you next, ladies.
Okay.
Deutsch.
Don't you like it when people criticize you? I love that.
I criticize myself all the time, so I don't really have a big problem with it.
No, you have to have a tough skin in this business. People are going to say whatever they want. Now, this book, Lies That Chelsea Handler Told Me, which book is this, number 4?
Number 4, but that book is under my new imprint, so I didn't write that book. All my friends and family, brothers and sisters, wrote that book about me, and I oversaw it and kind of added notes at the end of everyone's chapter. I wrote little things and put in pictures. So it's really good because everybody thinks that I've been lying about my entire life and all my books. They always say, are these true stories? And so I wanted people to contribute to a book to show that, yes, I'm not making up any of this. I mean, I'm making up a lot of stuff, but I'm not making up my own life.
I see. But I was reading some of the things that you supposedly said as lies, but they sound more like practical jokes than lies.
Yeah, they're more. I wouldn't ever lie about something serious, you know, or be, you know, I'm not a liar like that. No, I'm very, to my detriment, you know, very, direct, and I will always tell the truth. But I need to be amused constantly, so I like to play jokes on people or send emails from people's accounts to other people and tell, come out of the
Let me tell you what, you
closet.
told one of the writers to leave his honeymoon for a Time magazine photo shoot. What happened then when you did that?
Well, he was so paranoid that he was going to miss out on being in Time magazine because that was his parents' dream, and the fact that he's on my show and that we combined the fact that Time magazine would be doing a piece on us, to him was just like, he couldn't take it. He was like, oh my God, his parents made him go to business school, he just had to go get his master's, and he couldn't believe that he would miss out on this opportunity. So we kind of did it as a group, collectively, sent him emails saying, it's such a shame you can't be here for this, it's Time magazine. It was really mean. And then once he finally booked the ticket to come back and leave his honeymoon early, we told him it's a lie. I didn't tell him, but we had someone tell him. And
what happened then?
Well, then I forwarded all the emails to his wife, and I said, you should see who you married.
What about this one? You sent a phony gay email to an executive at E! From one of your producers. What did you say, I'm really in love with you or something?
I started talking about the Gaza Strip and, Israel to try and get him, because he sent an all-wide company email saying, certain sections of Los Angeles were going to be closed this weekend because the Israeli consulate was going to be in town and all this. And so I just kept writing back, talking about the crisis in the Middle East and what our last line of defense is, and nonsense. I mean, there's no reason you would ever respond to that email in the first place. And the fact that this guy was getting from this guy he'd never met in our office, and he was a gay man, so he was responding just to be courteous, like, yeah, I get it. Good luck with the voting, because the elections were coming up. I'm like, I really need, somebody's ear. I really want to discuss who to vote for. I'm torn. And just so totally inappropriate emails back and forth. And then finally, I said, I'm gay, and what I really want is you, and in my mouth, or something like that. Anyway, I ended up making plans for them to meet up in Palm Springs for the weekend. It was amazing. And so that was definitely, that was one of my highlights.
Well, you made a match.
But we do it with groups of people in the office, so you'll find us in the office, and I mean, literally, I'm peeing my pants from laughing, because we do it collectively, so we're just laughing so hard. And people now, when they leave their computers, I mean, it's no more fun for me to even go to work because everybody, has locks and double passwords, and, they walk down the hallway with their computer, which sometimes is a desktop, so that's awkward.
Have you ever checked an emailed from a boyfriend or a lover?
Yeah, all the time. I've always do that.
Yeah.
I go into people's Blackberries all the time. I have no problem with that whatsoever.
What did you find out about a boyfriend?
Oh, I've always found stuff. Every time you look, there's always some stupid flirty thing with somebody or something. But as long as you don't find anything, you know, I mean, I do the same thing, but I don't have any problem with, I'm not one of those people like, you can't look at my stuff, you can't look at my private, like, you go through my Blackberry if you want to.
Yeah, there's nothing there that they don't know, they haven't seen it.
Yeah, I'm telling you everything anyway.
It's impressive that you have your own imprint. I'm fascinated by that. How do you get something like that?
You have to sell a lot of books.
It means like you're like a publisher.
I am. I know. It's such a joke, too.
Well, your books are very popular. I mean, I had an assistant here. She lived for you. When she sees this, she's going to get so happy.
Well, why isn't she here? Did you fire her?
No, she moved on to MTV.
Oh.
She paid her more money.
Yeah, MTV is known for their huge budget.
Just shows you what kind of budget we have here. Now, is there one person that you're dying to have on your show? People always ask me that. I never have an answer.
I don't really. I used to say David Hasselhoff, but I've said it so many times as a joke, obviously.
Well,
but
he's been here.
Has he?
Yeah.
Really?
He was here with his daughters.
Oh,
weird.
When was that?
How long ago was that? Ages ago.
Well,
yeah.
he said he won't come on my show. He's scared of me. He said. I don't know why he would feel that way.
Why? What does he get scared of?
He probably is scared of staying sober long enough for me to interview him. Was he sober when he was here?
I don't know.
Out of curiosity.
He was, kind of. Yeah,
he was with his daughter, so he probably has to stay sober.
Yeah.
No burgers, no alcohol.
All right. So, let's say, I mean, I'm just fascinated by the fact that you're such an important author all of a sudden.
Well, it's funny that I am an important author because I didn't even graduate from college, you know, and I'm sure have you done commencement speeches before?
No.
Well,
I've never asked.
Really? Really?
No. I mean, they ask Snooki. They don't ask me.
That's really embarrassing.
It is.
Snooki.
I'm humiliated by that.
Well, I think it's a good example. It's a good example. I did one at Emory this weekend because my brother and sister both graduated from there, and I forwarded my sister the email when they asked me to do the commencement speech, and my sister said, "Oh my God, this is getting ridiculous. Now you're doing commencement speeches? You went to community college for a month." And but I think it's just a great testament, you know, with all the books, and first of all, I love this book because, you know, I didn't have to work so hard at writing it as the other ones, but I think it's a testament to, like, you know, you can just do kind of whatever you want. You really can in this business.
I know, it's incredible.
And people have all these archetypes about the way they think things are supposed to happen, and late night shows, and they're supposed to be this format, and you can't put a little person on a TV show, and you can't do this, and everyone's like, you can't write a book about one night stand. And people are saying, they're always telling you, you can't, you can't, you can't. And, you know, what I've been thinking a lot about lately is you really can. You can create your own TV show. You can be, you know, author or performer or writer or comedian. You can do whatever you want to do. And people, I think, respond because they know that you're being truthful. You know, you're not fitting into somebody else's idea of what you should be.
Yes.
And so it's nice to kind of create your own opportunities, especially as a woman. And I hate to ride that horse because I hate when people are like, is it hard being a woman in comedy? Because I actually think it's easier being a woman in comedy.
You do?
Yeah. I mean, you get noticed more quickly, you know, if you're funny.
It's hard to make them laugh, though. It's a little harder when you have a lot of drunken guys in the audience.
Well, yeah, that's hard, but
One time I
I'm
opened
usually
for Buddy Rich, the drummer. You know the famous drummer?
Yeah, Buddy Rich. From what band is he from?
No, he's like an old school.
Oh, then I don't know.
And he had a whole audience of drummers from Queen who were just using their sticks drumming while I was on stage. And I said, no, I said, listen, Buddy will be out, he's doing a little cocaine. Get off, they're yelling, get off. That was hard. For $50, we'll be back with more.